talk show host. Mayor Brown, I want to start with you because I want to start, and I'm not saying this because I think you're of another generation, but you are of another generation. How much of this with President Obama and his avoidance sometimes of the race issue is generational?
I don't think in his case it's strictly generational. I think you better understand very clearly, Barack Obama is the president of these United States. His handlers and his calculators and those who have propelled him and assisted in getting him that position walked through a whole series of potential barriers and problems, and they have dealt with those effectively, race being one of them. He has been magnificent on his utterances when confronted. But in terms of being a crusader, an image setter, and a leader, that's not part of the role that he has chosen to take. And it doesn't have anything to do with generation. It has more to do with politics and political success.
Mr. Collins, how have we in the media covered the issue of race so far in the Obama presidency?
Well, I think this is a unique situation because there have been a series of different false starts on this story. Initially, there is a report by a person who had a particular political agenda in posting it. Then there is the reaction, the overreaction by both the NAACP and the USDA chief, agriculture secretary rather. And then there's the correction, and in all of this, Ms. Sherrod's reputation and name has been damaged. So I think the media has done what they usually do. They jumped on a sensational story that involved race. In doing so, they added to hurting her name and reputation. But very quickly the NAACP reacted, and very quickly the secretary reacted. And then just this morning she's on television. She's been very, very vocal, very accessible, as have been the farmer who was the person who she helped. So you have all these different pieces. They look great on television. It makes great TV. Right now people want to see what's going on. Overall, in this quick 24-hour news cycle, the media is doing what it usually does, and that's telling us what's going on just as quickly as they found out about it.
For the both of you, I want to play a portion of then candidate Obama's race speech that he gave during the fallout of the Reverend Wright episode. Take a listen.
This is where we are right now. It's a racial stalemate we've been stuck in for years. And contrary to the claims of some of my critics, black and white, I have never been so naive as to believe that we can get beyond our racial divisions in a single election cycle or with a single candidate, particularly a candidacy as imperfect as my own.
You know, Mayor Brown, in rereading the president's race speech from Philadelphia in 2008, it's funny, it goes to right what you just said previously, which is he never set out to be a crusader when it came to civil rights or the issues of race. And in this speech, that's an example of him saying, look, we should have a conversation, but I'm not going to, this is not what my candidacy is about.
That is exactly what he said. But Chuck, I think we are all, the news media and everyone else, is missing something. This woman was an incredible, effective, community-based advocate on behalf of black farmers and black farm families. She added to her agenda all farm families. She's been a pain in the side of the Department of Agriculture for years. She sued them, and believe me, I think it's worth at least President Barack Obama checking his agricultural department to see whether or not they are frankly responding to getting rid of her as requested by the bureaucrats and as advocated by the bureaucrats because she is such an effective person on behalf of the downtrodden and the have-nots. I think that's the real story.
Mayor Brown is right. I mean, if you consider, Chuck, the fact that her father was killed by Caucasian and was never prosecuted, and this woman had a cross to bear. And in this speech that she made, before it was conveniently edited, she was talking about how she resurrected and changed and reconciled, rather, her position. Beautiful story, awesome individual. I have so much respect for her for what she's done and what she's attempting to do in making a department in the federal government responsive without consideration to race. And in that context, she should be remembered and should be viewed. And it's unfortunate that it took all of this negativity and negative press coverage to get her there.
You know, Mayor Brown, I'm going to throw out I'll let you respond to that, but I also want you to respond to this question. Do you believe it's been easier to be an African-American politician out west than it is, say, coming from the East Coast, the cities, or the South?
Well, let me start with the South. I'm from the South. I graduated from Mineola Colored High School in Mineola, Texas. I know exactly what this woman faced on a daily basis, although I didn't lose a father to a white person who shot him and wasn't indicted by the grand jury. I didn't have the same problem she had trying to register to vote because I had moved to California. No, it is not any different in California, in my opinion, than it is on the East Coast. The level of racism in this country, so carefully concealed, so carefully hidden, and so many people unwilling to acknowledge that it is a distinct possibility. And there's always the accusation that people are playing the race card. All of this says in any place you happen to be where you are black, you have to overcome each and every one of those barriers while you get to the issues that need to be addressed. In my opinion, President Barack Obama should have a beer summit with this woman at the White House so that discussion could start to take place. She really makes a lot of sense.
I agree with you.
And if they wanted to really right the ship, they'd put her in charge of the Department of Agriculture.
Mayor Brown,
Mr. Collins, very quickly, and then I got to wrap this up. Go ahead.
Mayor Brown hit it on the head. This is a learning moment, an educational moment for the president and for all of us. Here again, just like when the president was in Philadelphia and made that speech, he said that we are stuck in a racial stalemate. This opens the door, opens the window for an opportunity for a significant dialogue and examine some of the things that Ms. Sherrod says occurs in the Department of Agriculture that impedes equal distribution of all the things that farmers and all of us need in this country.
All right. Former San Francisco mayor and former Speaker of the General Assembly out there, Willie Brown, and E. Stephen Collins in Philadelphia. Thank you both for this lively discussion. Up next, maybe another macaca moment as Republican Senate candidate Ken Buck gives a bizarre reason why Colorado voters should vote for him. Stick around for the sideshow. It's a good one. You're watching Hardball, only on MSNBC.
It generates 29% more power, yet uses 19% less fuel. The all-new Infiniti M. This is inspired performance. This is the way of Infiniti. It's your summer to shine. Visit the Infiniti Limited Engagement Summer Event for our best offers of the year, where right now you can lease an Infiniti G sedan for $319 per month.
When I grow up, I want to fix up old houses.
I'm going to work with kids.
I want to run a marathon.